Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am Jeff Grant Media. In today's video, we're going to be using the Chisos Leather Balm to give my Double H boots some much needed TLC. I have not conditioned nor taken care of these boots in far too long, and it's a shame because these are my absolute favorite pair of boots that I have owned. These are an old American-made pair of Double H 2555 Wellingtons. They don't make these anymore. These boots are probably from the early to mid 2000s, so like 2002 to 2005. It is currently October 6th, 2024. So these boots are about 20 years old, and I've worn them quite a bit now. I don't wear these that much in the summer. I run too hot, so I can't really wear cowboy boots or engineer boots or harness boots that much in the summer. I can't have that much leather on my leg, but I do wear these a lot in the winter, and they definitely need some help here, and that's where the Chisos Leather Balm here is going to come in. Chisos just sent me this as a sample for review recently, so we're going to go ahead and put it to the test. And I recycled the bag from my Chisos belt to be my little boot care bag, because I just kind of had these just on a shelf. They were like, I think they were in a plastic bag, so I have all of my boot care items here. Now, there's a couple different ways that you can go about conditioning your leather boots. Some people will wash them, use some soap and water, because this is hide, this is skin. So, I mean, you wash your hands with soap and water. You can wash your leather boots with soap and water. I don't really do that. I will take a horsehair brush and I just kind of clean them. So, you just kind of want to get any of that gunk, any of that junk off them. And I did have these on today. We were at it's called Little Grimm's. It's essentially a haunted hayride, but for the kids, so it's during the day, and they don't have all of the scary people jumping out at you. So these do have some dirt, some dust, some hay on them, but we're going to go ahead and give these a nice cleaning. And what we're going to do is we're going to do one boot. We'll do the right boot. We'll leave the left boot as is, so we can do a before and after to see how well the leather balm works. So again, I did wear them today, so they are a little dirty, so we're going to have to give them a little extra TLC here. Make sure we got all of the gunk and dirt off them. And you can see, like, there's lots of scuff marks. The toes, you could see the uppers, what color the toes and the lowers used to be, at least close to it. This is certainly aged in the past 20 years, but it's a better indication of what the boots used to look like prior to me living and beating the hell out of these. And I will say it's been probably 2 years since I've done anything to these boots, which is, again, a shame. These are like my zombie apocalypse boots. If I need a pair of boots to run out of the house, this is probably what I'm going to grab. I have plenty of boots. I love a lot of my boots. A lot of my boots are incredibly comfortable, but these boots, even though they're about due for a resole, I absolutely love them. I feel like I could walk miles and miles and miles and miles day in, day out in these boots and be completely fine. These are essentially molded to my feet. So we got them. I think we got them kind of dusted off. I did give them a good once over prior to me actually wearing them today, so they already did get a lot of the gunk knocked off them. So there's a couple different ways you can do this. You can use a rag. You can use your finger. If you don't want to use your finger, you can just use like a nitrile glove and put on the nitrile glove. I don't really recommend that because you never know if there's something in those gloves. They could react to the leather. I personally just like to use my finger on the leather balm, so that's exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to go ahead, crack this on open. You can see it right there. It smells okay. And you don't need a lot of this stuff. Actually, I could probably do the whole boot on just what's on the lid. So we'll try that. We'll take this little bit. It's in the lid here, and I'm just going to put it on my finger. I'm just going to work it in, rub it around. You want to make sure, especially here where the toe's really creased, and since I haven't used these in a while, it's probably going to suck this in, so I'm probably going to have to use a little more than I normally would, just because it's been so long since I've conditioned these boots. And now I'm just rubbing it in. You can get it along the welt or the stitch down, however your boots are constructed, and you just want to work it in there. You just want to work it in real good. You can already see it's turning a little bit brighter. And it will lighten up a little bit. It's essentially wet right now. So again, I am going to have to use a little more than I normally would because it has been so long since I've taken care of these boots. They are very, very dry. And Chisos says you can use this on exotic leathers too. So if you have some of those crazy ostrich boots that look pretty awesome, I never had a pair, you can probably use it in that on those as well and be completely fine. But we're just working it in here. And you can see there's some clumps. You can see there's some spots where there's certainly a little extra balm, but I can feel it just sucking this conditioner in because it's my fault. I have not conditioned these boots in far, far too long. So we're just rubbing them in. You can already see what they looked like prior. Now this will lighten up back again a little bit once they dry, but it is going to darken it up considerably over what it would looking like. You're already seeing the toes are starting to look a lot like the uppers, which is fairly close to what they did look like. This certainly is darker from rubbing on the inside of my jeans than it was when I got them, but it's essentially close enough to the original color. So I'll take a little bit more. Just want to make sure we get all of these seams. And this leather is thirsty, but you can see it is, and we didn't even get to the upper yet. We're only on the lower still. But you can see that this leather is thirsty, and it is sucking up this leather balm because it really needs it and wants it. So we're just going to keep going, just dabbing a little bit here, there, working it all the way around. Now, the lowers are pretty much done. Now we're going to have to do the upper of the boot as well. Not just going to do the part that's exposed and taking on the brunt of it. We will do the upper half of the boot. Now this probably won't take nearly as much as the lower did. We already just did like probably half the boot. I am getting these seams too really, really good. So we are going to see a little excess, which we'll knock off when we're done here. And we're just going to keep working this and massaging it in and just heating it up. Now, as I'm rubbing it, I'm also creating a little bit of friction, which is helping to kind of... Now, it's pretty liquidy, but the friction that I am creating with my hands is helping to work it into the leather as well. Again, I want to get these seams real good. Just really working it in the boot. Just a little bit more. I think I'll do it. We got to get the back here. Heel really wants the leather. Now, if you have leather sole boots like these ropers, you could also use it on the leather sole. I mean, if you want to see, I'll dab a little bit on there, but you could take the leather sole. Now, these boots themselves aren't that bad a shape, so the boots don't really need to be conditioned, but we could condition the soles, the leather soles of the boots too. But these ropers are a rubber sole, so I don't need it there, but we're going to go ahead and we're not just going to do a dab. We'll hit the whole sole here. And we'll match the other one up a little bit later as well. Nope, I didn't even get any on my hand. But you can do a leather sole as well, because that is leather, so it will want some conditioning. Okay, we could set that off to the side. This is pretty good here. Let me just, I think I might have missed a tiny bit up top here. So there we go. It's all worked in. It didn't take me long, a couple of minutes. And you could see the change already. Now this has to sit and dry for a little bit of time, but you can see the drastic difference just applying a little bit of that leather balm did to these boots. Just crazy. Crazy that change that happened with just a few minutes of work with little to no elbow grease. That went in very, very easy. And the next time I condition these boots, it's probably going to take half, if not less, than what I had put on these today. Because again, it's been probably 2 years since I've last conditioned these boots. So the leather, it was very, very thirsty. So the next time, it's not going to take me nearly as much conditioner to put on these boots. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let these sit. It's about 4 o'clock. We're going to let these sit for half an hour to an hour just to absorb any of the conditioner into the leather, let it get in there, work its way in. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we can use the brush again to knock any of the thicker parts off. of the conditioner, and then we can use a brush and we'll kind of shine them up. I don't like a high shine boot, so I'm not going to polish them a ton, but we'll shine them up a little bit, and then we can compare a finished off conditioned boot to what it looked like prior to conditioning. So let's let these boots sit for a little bit, and we'll come back and check on them in about half an hour to an hour. Okay, so we split the difference. It's been about 45 minutes or so, and this is certainly dry, and you can see a drastic change in the way these boots look from not treated to currently treated. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking our horsehide brush again, and we're going to run it on, and we're going to try to knock any of the excess off that might have been kind of caked up or a little bit high on the boot. We're going to do that the same way we did before. We're just going to kind of hit it, keep working it all around. And I did go kind of heavy on these seams, so I want to make sure I get the seams and the welt real good as well. Make sure I get the top there where I had a lot of that creasing. Make sure we get across the back, seam across the back as well, down here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our boot, we're going to actually put it on our foot, and then we're going to put it on a little bench. We're going to take our rag, and we're just going to kind of polish the boot. And we're going to go through this, and what we're doing here is we're knocking off any of those high points. We're also polishing the boot. We're just kind of working it in. And you can see I kind of just rubbed a little bit of it off. We could touch that up a little bit there. We're just going to kind of go through it and work where all of that conditioner went in. And the more we do this, the more we're going to give this boot a shine. And I don't really like my boots to be super shiny. I just kind of wanted to give them that look of kind of what they did-ish when they were new. And the uppers didn't really darken up too much, but you can see how much these lowers did. And they just look so much better, and they feel that much better. So there we have my Double H 2555 American-made Wellingtons that have now been conditioned with the Chisos Leather Balm. And you can see what they started, where they're at now. They look so much better, so incredibly better than they looked prior to me conditioning them. Again, it's been like 2 years probably since I treated these boots. And I did say, and I did condition the leather sole of these Rhodes ropers, and they look so much better. There's the unconditioned sole, and there's the conditioned sole. So that's what the leather soles look like of conditioned boots. Now, these uppers aren't that bad. They probably could use a little TLC, but these are new. I got these like last year, so I have not conditioned these at all yet, but I wore these last winter. So maybe I'll give these a shot too, but you could see the soles, the difference of the leather sole. And you can use this leather balm on cowhide. You can use this on exotics. You can use this on basically any leather good. You don't have to just use it on boots. You can use this on jackets. You can use this on furniture. You can use this on saddle wear. So this stuff works on just about any leather good. And a little bit will do you. Again, a little heavy because they started like this and now they look like this. So they were thirsty. They needed some rehydration. They needed some TLC. But yeah, that is a drastic difference of where they started and where they got. And that was not a lot of work either. I mean, it doesn't take a ton of work to do this. And you don't want to do this all the time. You really only want to do this like 2, maybe 3 times a year, 4 if you like. If these are your work boots, you're wearing these all the time. Because I do wear these a lot in the fall, winter, and early spring. They do get a beating, but I don't wear these in the summer. So if I wore these throughout the entire year, I probably would condition these like 3 times a year. But when I'm not waiting 2 years between conditioning my boots, I will generally do these twice a year. I'll do them kind of in the middle of my wearing season, and then I'll do them at the end of my wearing season. Then I'm not going to wear them. So they will sit throughout the summer, but because it's very hot and humid here, there's a lot of moisture in the air, so it's not that arid. So I do kind of condition them in the middle of me wearing them, which is usually the winter when it's quite dry here. So I'll condition them in the middle of me wearing them to kind of rehydrate them, and then I will condition them at the end of the year as I'm getting ready to kind of put them away, put them on the shelf, put them wherever I'm putting them for the year. and then when I take them back out, they're generally in pretty good shape. So I usually condition them. Again, when I'm not waiting that long between conditioning, I usually do it twice a year. But if I were to wear like these boots year round and I worked in them and everything, I would do 3, maybe 4 times a year, depending upon how much I wore them and how beat up they look. I do like maybe once a quarter, I'd treat them and take care of them. But, you know, really what you got to do is just get yourself a horsehide brush, and then after you wear them, like today, I was at the little hayride, so they definitely have some hayride and dirt on them. Just when you get home, just working with the brush, you know, just knock any of that gunk off them. That would normally take care of them. So in between your long stretches of conditioning or taking care of your boots, just get a horsehide brush, knock some of that dirt off them. Then when you know, you got to put them on again, you don't have all of that junk sitting on them overnight, a couple days, you know, because I don't wear these all the time. I do have a lot of footwear at this point. You know, it's not going to be sitting there for, you know, a night or a week before I wear these boots again. I'm knocking it off at the end of the day, and then I just condition them 2 times a year. So yeah, I'm very satisfied how they came out. I'm definitely going to treat the other boot now and have that ready to go. And I'll probably wear these to work tomorrow because they look damn good now. Way better than they have for a very long time. So if you're looking for a good leather conditioner, the Chisos Leather Balm, it's working really, really well. We'll do a quick checkup. Maybe we'll do some shorts. I don't think I can get a full-length video at just telling you how they're looking after, you know, a month or so of wear. But these are going to start getting heavy rotation because the weather is cooling off. So these boots are going to be back to a nearly daily wear. So we'll see how well the Chisos Leather Balm takes care of my boots throughout the winter. So stay tuned. We will be doing a couple of updates, but thus far I'm satisfied. I'm very satisfied with the way they look and the way that worked, and that was basically no work at all. I could just do that. If I wasn't talking to the camera, I could have done that in probably 5 minutes or less. Let it sit there, knock off the high points, polish them up just a bit. I would have been done with probably 15, 20 minutes worth of work tops. So really good product, very happy with the outcome. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications the next time I post a brand new video. Good night.